Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my true life horror story. So let's take it back. Let's take it back to 1973, before I ever had a multi-platinum selling CD. Just kidding. If you know what that is, high five, you're old. Let's take it back to 2013 to 14. I was living in an apartment complex. So while I have owned instruments in the past, at the time I didn't own an instrument. I want to say I've kind of gone through my share of guitars and drums and whatever, and at different points in my life I seem to have a little bit, or sometimes none of it. So it's a Friday night, and my insomnia is full swing. I am doom scrolling on Netflix, trying to figure out what to watch. At the time, I was probably watching Supernatural, because it was probably on Netflix, or probably watching one of my DVDs. I'm sitting there, and I'm getting ready to go to bed. Okay. I feel kind of creeped out. I don't know why. I've always been sensitive to spiritual things, and I'm not saying that to sound so cool, or to sound so goth, or to sound so deep and so unique. Oh, no, really, like, I've always had a spiritual sensitivity, and it scared me because every one of these stories has been part of that spiritual sensitivity. So what ends up happening, it's about 3 or 4 in the morning, and I just feel like, it feels like my eyeballs are in the back of my head. You know what I mean? That feeling when you feel like you were hanging your head off the bed, but you're tired and you're a little jumpy and everything feels weird. And personally, I don't like that state of being. Because I've noticed that when I'm in that state of being, I'm more susceptible to be afraid of things. Like if my cat jumps in front of me, normally it would be a normal thing, but suddenly I jump out of my skin. Or if you hear someone revving an engine down the street, it suddenly sounds like the most terrifying thing. It may as well be a chainsaw in a cornfield. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So I'm getting ready to go to bed. I'm in the kitchen. I am pouring myself a glass of water, and out of nowhere, I hear boom. And again, you go, okay, so you heard a guitar chord. Yeah, I heard an open guitar chord. Why is that scary, Mr. Deathbreath? Why should I be afraid? You should be afraid because, one, it was right beside me. And I don't mean like right beside me across the street, right beside me across the room, right beside me upstairs. No, it was literally right beside me. There was a guitar chord that was hit open right beside me. I mean, as if we were shoulder to shoulder. If we were face to face, I could hear you breathing. That's how close it was. And I hear an open guitar chord, an electrified open guitar chord. My first thought is, okay, what was that? Immediately go into freakout-ville. Immediately go into panicville. Immediately, I kind of start freaking out, and I go, no, take it back. Take it back, Mr. Deathbreath. Let's see what's really happening. Let's see what you're really experiencing. So in my panic state, I start panicking in the sense that I use my panic and I turn it into a positive thing to try to rationally figure out what is going on. And if you heard my other stories, you know that I use it in a positive way. I take that distress and I make it a eustress. Now it's suddenly something I can work with, something that's benefiting me. So the first thing I do is I grab a knife, I open up my door, and I see someone's outside messing with me, grabbing a knife for my safety. Who knows, right? No one's there. No one's there at all. I even go as far as to think, well, you know, maybe one of my neighbors ran out and came right to my door and you know, hit the guitar chord, which wouldn't make sense because it was so close to me. But nonetheless, I go to the front of my complex where I can see if the lights are on or off, just because of the drawn shades. I don't see a single light in that house based off what I'm seeing. Okay. But even then, it makes no sense logically because this was right beside me. This wasn't in the door. But I had a small apartment, so I thought, you know, it's possible, right? Next thing I do, I go and check outside my back patio. Nothing, which again makes no sense. This is when I start freaking out, because I'm the only one in this place. There's no one there. There's nothing happening. There's no sound. There's nothing. It was just me at 3 a.m. And it just didn't make any sense. I couldn't figure it out. And naturally, when you have a situation where you can't figure something out, what do? You go, oh, it was in my head. So welcome to my true life horror story of suppressed memories. That's what you're experiencing here. These are memory suppressions. That's what this is. That's what this whole series is about, me suppressing memories. But it's gotten to the point that I can't because they're kind of bleeding through. To the point that hearing these stories after recording them to make sure I'm not flubbing my words and saying nonsensical things scares me because it makes me anxious. So long story short, I don't know who or what hit the note, but it wasn't a neighbor because it was too close. It wasn't above me because it was too close. It was right beside me as if I could poke myself in the shoulder. I didn't have any electrical instruments. I didn't have any drums. I didn't have any acoustic guitars. I didn't have a radio on. I didn't have a TV on. All I had was a light on and a glass of water in my hand. And to say that I nearly dropped that glass of water was the understatement of the year. An absolutely terrifying moment. Anyway, guys, if you're listening to this on Spotify, it's on YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube, it's on Spotify. By the way, check out my other videos like the homophobic ghost or the ghost that follows me in the back of my passenger seat where I can't drive my car without staring over my shoulder. Hence, I don't like driving at night. Guys, thanks for listening. And if you like this, please subscribe and follow me. Anyway, take care.